guys, and welcome back. I hope you are having a good morning or afternoon or evening. And in this video today, I'm going to be discussing and talking about how to balance on your hands when you're first starting out handstanding, because it's such a confusing thing when you first start out. I remember when I was first starting to get really interested and really invested and excited to learn more handstands, and I think I could only do a couple seconds worth of a handstand, and I just remember struggling so much. And I think one of the biggest things back then was I didn't really understand how the balance worked in the hand, and I didn't even realize how it worked and was aware of it until much later on down the road in my handstand journey. I found that by bringing people's awareness to the balance and showing them some certain exercises and things that they can do to help them really helps to progress their handstand journey. So I hope you guys find this video helpful. If it does, please give it a like because it really supports my channel, and leave a comment down below on where you're at with your handstand journey. I love hearing from you guys. But with that out of the way, let's get into the juicy content of this video. So to start off with, I just want to explain how the balance works in our hands and where the weight should be sitting in your hand when you're doing handstands. So to start off first, I'm going to give you an example that should help you to understand how the balance in your hands works. So when you think about your feet and the fact that they hold us up and they keep us balanced when we're standing upright, we can sort of apply how that works onto our hands. So with our feet, the base of the heel, if we're leaning backwards, we push our heels into the ground to help bring us forward. And then if we're falling forward, we use our toes to push us back. So coming down onto the floor, so when you handstand and you want to get that balance in your hands, and the way that helps your handstands the best is by having your fingers outspread nice and wide, and then if you're doing your classic straight handstand, having your hands shoulder width apart is the most ideal place to have them, to not use too much strength to hold yourself up. You want to have your hands spread out nice and wide, and then you want to try and have as much contact as you can with the entire palm of your hand on the ground. So you want to feel that connection with the ground. Not only that, but beyond your top knuckle, you want to be able to feel those fingers on the ground as well. Now there's a couple different variations here with your fingers and what you can do. You can grip the floor with your fingers, or some people choose to keep their entire finger flat on the ground. That is a bit more of a preference thing. Now, so the aim is when you've got your entire palm nice and flat on the ground and you've got that connection down there, so just like our feet before, so if we ever feel like we are falling forwards, we're going to use our fingers to push ourselves back. And then the same way round, if you're falling backwards, you use the palm of your hand to push yourself forward. This is all well and good, but you might be like, Ellen, I need some practical things that I can try to start feeling this connection and what that feels like for that weight to be shifting. So don't worry, I got you. I've got some exercises that we'll go through. So first up, you're actually going to come onto your hands and your knees just in a classic cat position, and you're going to bring your hands into the position that they'll be in. Let's go this way. So spreading your fingers out and nice and wide, getting that connection and your palms flat on the ground. So in this position, you should feel like you've got a bit of weight in your hands, and you should be able to feel like you can push the ground away and have your palms nice and flat on the ground. Next, if you prefer to have that little bit of finger grip / pull on the ground, you can do that. And what you're going to do is you're just going to move your shoulders around, and you're going to feel where that weight goes on your hands. So you can go back and forward, just feeling what it feels like, where the weight in your hands shifts to as you're moving around. So you can do forward and back, you can do to the sides, and then you can also go round in a circle. But you're really just wanting to get that connection and the feel of what it's like when your weight shifts in your hand. So the next two exercises that I'm going to show you is some wrist strengthening exercises to help get that strength up, because starting to balance on your hands with your full body weight is a lot, and if you're very new to it, then I would definitely recommend starting to build up some of that wrist strength. Now, my favorite exercise is wrist push-ups, because it's such an easy one to adapt as well. So you can either do this on your knees if you're just starting out, or you can do it on your toes in a full push-up position. But spreading out those hands nice and wide, what you're going to do is hinge at that knuckle and bring the base of your palm up. And you want to do this with nice, slow and controlled movement. So bringing them up and then down. So to make this nice and easy, you can do it in the cat position, or when you want it to be a bit more challenging, you can take your knees further out and you can try it there. Make sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders when you're doing this one. Next up, if you have some weights or a TheraBand, that also works really well with this next couple of exercises, but something light, medium, I just have a 2 kilogram weight at the moment. But all you're going to do, you want your arm on the edge of a table, or you can do it on your leg. You're just going to do some little wrist curls. You can go forward towards yourself, you can turn your wrist around the other way, and you can do to the side as well. You can also do this exact same thing standing up as well. Progressing on to some actual drills that you can try, my first and favorite one to get people to do is the froggy. Alright, to get into the froggy, you're going to put your hands shoulder width. Actually, for the froggy, you can do this 2 different ways. I'm going to teach you the one where your hands are a little bit wider, and you put your knees on the outside, just above your elbows, or you can do it with your hands underneath your shoulders, or you can do it with your hands shoulder width apart, and you bend your arms backwards and you put your elbows just underneath your armpits. So you can kind of choose which variation you like or find more comfortable with your knees on your arms, but you're going to pick one. And to get into it, it helps if you can either squat or bend over in this position. You're going to place your hands, place your knees on, and you're slowly going to bring your chest forward until you can get the weight off your toes. So getting into this first position is really good practice of pushing through the base of your palm to get yourself up. Now, it's also good to have a little pillow or something in front of you if this is your first time trying this, just in case you go over and you bop your head on the ground. So slowly coming forward, pressing the base of your palm into the ground. So that's the first variation you can try with the froggy, is just coming up into it And then next you can do froggy rocks. So this time you will definitely need a pillow in front for your head, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to come into your froggy position. You're going to rock forward into your froggy position, and you're going to lower your head to the ground and then bring yourself back off by using those fingers to push your head away, which is practicing using that power and wrist strength from the other angle to what we just did. I'm going to use Mr. Cat as a thinner thing. So pushing up and then lowering yourself down. Pushing away, going back to your feet, pushing the palm, using the fingers to push away. So one other thing that I want to cover in this video before I wrap it up, and something that people will find that they struggle with, is this thing where they struggle to get their entire palm flat on the ground when they're doing handstands. So it quite often ends up being this like little gap that forms where most of the weight is in the very, very edge of their palm and not quite. Oh my gosh, I need a shovel. So if you've got this problem, it's really good to take yourself back to basics and to practice just getting and focusing on pushing that entire palm nice and flat, and just kind of like working on some easier exercises and really focusing on getting all of that weight through the more middle part of your hand. Because if you're struggling in this position doesn't really allow your weight to be going right down into the center of your hand where you've got the most stability and ability to balance yourself. So you're gonna struggle if you are in this position, which is why it's really important you work on getting that palm nice and flat. Alright, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found it helpful. If you did, please let me know down in the comments. If you guys want more handstand videos just like this, I have a playlist on my channel. I'll have some recommended just here that you can check out. But with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. To the place of content for your viewing pleasure. An analogy, is that the right? I don't know. And my camera isn't charged.